Welcome back to Bash Bros in episode 68 of Notorious Pro Wrestling, the TEW Let's Play series where we find out what exactly would happen if Conor McGregor started his own wrestling promotion. It is the Keeper Lit pay-per-view, that's what one it is. Christ, it's been like a good couple of weeks. So I usually record these all in one go, but I ran out of time. So I recorded all the wanteds, but I haven't done the pay-per-view yet. So I got like no clue. I have no clue what's going on. I've like very hastily like read all my booking notes. But yeah, so we're going to learn what what's happened this month together. So be prepared for that. News. There really has not been a lot. You guys were last here on the June week 3 wanted, and that looked a little something like this. Was a 66 show because we've been getting pretty much, it's in our ballpark, is kind of the 60s at the minute. But it was a 66 show from Scotland in the Liquid Room, and yeah, 66, quite good. Highlights are clearly having was the contract signing between Jay Lethal and Chris Hero, and other highlights included a very strong main event between Jay Lethal and James Storm. Yeah, no real lowlights, so yeah, was a very, very good wanted. As I said, there isn't really any news like at all. So yeah, let's just get right in to our pay-per-view match card and the storylines leading in to each of the matches. Eddie Dennis and Mark Andrews are destined to do this forever. From their days in Progress to their days in NXT UK and now to their days in NPW, these two are going to fight until we're all dead and in the ground. This most recent rivalry came about after Eddie Dennis injured Amir Jordan just to get under Mark Andrews' skin. Eddie then went on to recruit the NIC and form the new faction Epitaph, who plan to leave their mark on NPW. The mind games continued as NIC beat Grado Talent Agency in a tag match, but Mark Andrews started to fight back and made Eddie Dennis so mad by constantly interfering in his matches. Eddie finally agreed to a match against Mark Andrews under one condition. If Eddie wins, Mark Andrews has to leave the Grado Talent Agency. Crazy Mary Dobson is trying so hard to win the Women's Championship for her injured friend, Mad Marley Quinn, and it's starting to take a toll on her. Mary Dobson has been getting increasingly more and more erratic, more violent, more aggressive, and it raises the question, what will happen if she fails to win the championship from the dominant champion, Tessa Blanchard? We might find out tonight as Crazy Mary Dobson takes on Tessa Blanchard for the NPW Women's Championship. After months of being on the shelf with a torn bicep, Rich Swann returned and joined his former partner, Jody Fleisch, to take on Lycos Gym, the team that put Rich on the shelf for 6 months, let's say 6 months. After vanquishing their foes last month, they went on to win a number one contenders match and now are trying to prove a point that they are not the joke Dynasty make them out to be. Constantly, quite literally, turning their back on the Birds of Prey and even going so far as to give them out to not face them at this pay-per-view. However, to prove they weren't a joke, Birds of Prey brawled with Dynasty. They brawled with Dynasty just 2 weeks ago and proved that maybe, just maybe, they might win the titles tonight. Chris Hero versus Jay Lethal started off as a friendly rivalry between two fantastic pro wrestlers with similar backgrounds. Going to a time limit draw during the P12 tournament, it ended up costing both men their block, allowing Carlos Romo to get the eventual victory. Chris Hero set out that he wanted a rematch with Jay Lethal, which Jay accepted, but since then things have gotten a bit more intense accidentally costing each other matches, miscommunication in these matches. It reached a boiling point at the contract signing where the friendly rivalry turned a bit bitter after some very personal jabs. This led Conor McGregor to add the stipulation that there must be a winner tonight. No countouts, no time limits, no DQ. There must be someone pinned or submitted in this ring whenever Chris Hero takes on Jay Lethal. Ace Austin versus Carlos Romo in a Texas death match. How far we have come from the days of these two being friends. Each winning their respective blocks in the P12 tournament, Ace Austin soon realised he just wasn't good enough to beat Carlos Romo clean and ended up resorting to cheating to win the match. But he didn't stop there, as he then had Will Hobbs, his muscle, injure Carlos Romo. For a month we didn't see him until he returned to cost Ace Austin the NPW title match. And now Romo is on a mission. He has already beaten Will Hobbs and he goes on to face Ace Austin tonight, not just wanting to beat him, but also wanting to hurt him in what will definitely be a bloody and brutal brawl. And in our main event, possibly the best wrestler in the world, Jonathan Grisham versus Pentagon Jr. for the NPW title. Jonathan Grisham, although he didn't win his block, was possibly the MVP of the P12 tournament, pulling out unbelievable matches and a possible match of the year candidate. And Pentagon Jr. noticed this. When he found himself without an opponent for the pay-per-view, he called out Jonathan Grisham, and Jonathan Grisham was happy to accept. In what could easily be the best match in NPW history, Jonathan Grisham will take on Pentagon Jr. for the championship in our main event. Well, that is the entire card. I will not lie, I think I've booked too many matches. But we'll see. But we will see. So, only thing left to do now is book it. Okay, and we are back. A stonking 606 fans. It's good. It's good. It's good shit. So coming from the Tivoli Theatre in Dublin, it is Keep Her Lit. So yeah, I was pretty much bang on. I had booked way too many matches, so I had to move one match and two angles onto the pre-show. So the hype package, video package for Ace Austin versus Carlos Romo got bumped to the pre-show, and then a promo with Crazy Mary Dobson also got bumped to the pre-show, with the Tennille Dashwood and Zia Brookside match, which was planned. That one was planned, so it's not so bad. And then I threw in Aussie Open versus Les Artistes. Aussie Open not featured on this pay-per-view tonight. They will be back next month to continue to feud with Dynasty. So, let's start the show. So, in a pre-show match, Aussie Open defeated Les Artistes in 9:50 when Kyle Fletcher pinned Marcus DeLeo with the fidget spinner. Kyle had a 62, Mark had a 60, Peter had a 38, and Lucas had a 39. All in all, a 55. Yeah, like, Aussie Open's really good, guys. Aussie Open's really good. I just wish they were better on the mic, but goddamn, they really good. Next up in the backstage promo, Jen interviews Crazy Mary Dobson, who says if she doesn't win tonight, she is just a failure. 54 rated promo, which is grand. Then the hype package for Ace Austin versus Carlos Romo in a Texas death match, a 60 rated segment, which is actually better than I thought. Much better than I thought. And in our pre-show main event, I guess, Zia Brookside defeated Tennille Dashwood in 14:45 for the Iconoclasm. Tennille 60 and Zia a 55, all in all a 58. I have to say, Natalia being with Zia has really upped her game. She was only scoring like 40s, mid 40s, and now she scored mid 50s. That is a massive improvement. Part of me also wonders how much of that is down to her being in the Notorious Fight School, if that's really helped her improve too. But yeah, awesome to see. Next up, the opening match in a superb match. Eddie Dennis defeated Mark Andrews in 14:32 by submission after blatantly cheating. Eddie Dennis got a 57 and Mandrew's got a 62, and they have great chemistry. Well, to be fair, that's to be expected. Like, these guys have fought each other all over the UK, so yeah, I that's pretty good. And really good work at ringside. 62 rated segment. With that, Eddie Dennis has essentially nearly killed the Grado Talent Agency. Grado's only active talent in his agency is now Riho. So this is the start of kind of him being a bit getting really desperate and not turning heel, but he's going to make a very big blunder. Because obviously Conor McGregor's going to say to him, you know, he's on a manager's contract and he needs clients if he wants to keep his contract. So yeah, 62 rated segment, which is pretty dope. Next up, in a bout that had fantastic heat and great wrestling, Carlos Ramo defeated Ace Austin in a Texas death match, when Ace was pinned and could not beat a 10 count. During the match, we also had Will Hobbs turn on Ace Austin. Ace had a 60, Carlos Ramo had a 59. All in all, a 61. So they actually outperformed, which is pretty awesome to see, since these guys are two very young competitors. Both guys are like mid-20s, maybe early 20s. But yeah, just a bit of retribution for Carlos. And yes, I know I'm just copying the MJF Wardlow storyline with the muscle turning on the arrogant, cocky heel, but it's a good storyline, you know? Plus this will lead to kind of a big character shift for Ace Austin. And so Will Hobbs has now officially turned face as well. Next up, in a superb match, Dynasty defeated Birds of Prey in 17-11 when Davey Boy Smith pinned Jody Fleisch with a Bulldog Bomb, making this defense number 6 for Dynasty. Fleisch was the weak link, not really surprised. Rich had a 61, awesome. Jody had a 46, it's okay. Davey Boy 61, Joe 61. So yeah, wow, he was massively the weak link. Tag team bonus for Dynasty, and good chemistry between Davey Boy and Natalia. 60 overall, which is great. Really surprised how good Dynasty have been. 61 for each of them, like, that's really good. Like, that's really, really good. Next up, in a bout that had fantastic heat and great wrestling, Tessa Blanchard defeated Crazy Mary Dobson in 17:49 with a figure 4 leg lock, making this defense number 6 for Tessa. Crazy Mary Dobson had a 54, which is good, and Tessa Blanchard had a 60, which is great. Overall, is 60 rated match. So Tessa pulled Crazy Mary Dobson up to her level. Post-match, Crazy Mary Dobson fucking loses it, goes absolutely ballistic, attacks Tessa, takes the belt, smashes the belt against the steps, takes a chair, beats the shit out of the belt, destroys the NPW Women's Championship, and then kind of like cradles it, sobbing in the middle of the ring. And then the lights go out, and when they come back up, Jake Roberts and Sonico are in the ring with Mary, and Jake extends the hand. Mary kind of comes to him and he like hugs her like a father hugging a crying daughter. And the lights go out again and they're all away, all spooky like. 59 rated segment, which is good. So yeah, this is going to lead to Crazy Mary Dobson turning heel until Marley Quinn comes back. Yeah, just pretty much the whole idea is that, you know, Mary Dobson's quest, I suppose, to get the belt for Marley. The pressure of doing that has kind of driven her even crazier than she already was. And Jake the Snake, who we know is a bit of a manipulator, we've seen him do it with Sonico and Pentagon, sees kind of like that weakness and is going to use it to like become a crutch for her, and then therefore have another ally. Someone who, you know, Jake's whole thing is just using people to get belts. That's kind of his whole character. He just does it in a spooky way. Crazy Mary Dobson's whole gimmick plays him well with like the occult factor of, you know, the Master, aka Jake Roberts, and, you know, Sonico, the Pentaghoul or the Luchaghoul. So I think it's a good fit. It will not be a permanent heel turn Mad Marley Quinn whenever she comes back from her fucking year-long injury. Her coming back will feud with Mary Dobson and then lead to her turning face again. Because by that time, enough time will have passed that we can turn her face. But yes, Mary Dobson will be turning heel. Probably should have done it this angle. If not, I'll do it next. But yeah, she'll turn heel, and we'll have another good, solid kind of upper mid card heel in the women's division for a while. I also feel like Jake can help her with promos. Jake's a very good promo, and Crazy Mary Dobson is an okay promo. Next up, in an exceptional match, Chris Hero defeated Jay Lethal in 25-28 with the Hangman's Elbow. Ooh, Jay Lethal sustained crack ribs. Ooh. And that led to a poor match rating. Oh, this could have been... Alright, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so... Hero, 64. Lethal, 65. Oh, this could have easily been like a 64-65 match. Oh... Jay Lethal foreshadowed a heel turn, which will be happening next. A 58. Oh, those cracked ribs really fucked it up. Oh, those cracked ribs really fucked it up. You're easily looking at a 64-65. You're easily looking at that, and devastated, lads. Devastated. Yes, I'm aware, Doug. I am aware. Post-match, Chris Hero extends the hand, and Jay takes it and shakes it. Both brilliant wrestlers put on a hell of a show, despite one of them getting injured halfway through. A hell of a match. And then Jay Lethal kicks Chris Hero in the dick, reminiscent of Chris Hero doing this to Doug Williams. Just saying. Long-term booking. So Jay Lethal is officially heel. This is going to lead to Jay just kind of doing his franchise gimmick, like how he helped carry ROH through its darkest times, and that he deserves the respect of he deserves the respect of everyone, including Chris Hero. Yada yada yada. This will probably lead to a match between Jay Lethal and Jonathan Grisham. Jonathan's gonna remain face and kind of try and reason with Jay through a lot of this until Jay just gets sick of Jonathan. I'm definitely going to do a Jay Lethal versus Chris Hero 3 because it should have been better. Should have been better, and also it means that they're heel versus face now, so there shouldn't be a penalty for that as well. So yeah, look out for that in the next couple of months. Jay Lethal versus Chris Hero 3 once Jay's ribs heal. And in the main event, in an exceptional match, Pentagon defeated Jonathan Grisham in 23-12 with a Styles Clash, making it defense number 11 for Pentagon. Grisham had a 65 and Pentagon had a 66. Both are good. Grisham's done better. All in all, 63. Yeah, slight penalty on that just due to them being two faces, but it's not the end of the world. Post-match then, Pentagon shakes Jonathan Grisham's hand. A bit of a parallel between Grisham and his tag partner. When Jay Lethal shook Chris Hero's hand earlier in the night, it was a low blow. When Jonathan Grisham shakes Pentagon's hand, no low blow. It's a little bit of a parallel between the two there. And that is the show 63. Probably our weakest pay-per-view in a while. Not bad, definitely not bad. We've been scoring about 66, 67 for our pay-per-views, so this has dropped down. But saying that, we didn't have a Conor McGregor promo. So to get 63 without spamming Conor McGregor, I am very happy with. I'm very, very happy with. So, news coming out of Keeper Lit. Jay Lethal's going to be out for a week, or Jay Lethal's going to work through his cracked ribs for about a week. That's pretty good. Nothing too bad there. Probably just give him a week off, and then he can come back fighting fit to continue his storyline. So yeah, I'm happy enough with that. But yeah, guys, that really is it for this week. Next time you guys will be back will be next week, where we will, as always, deal with the fallout from the pay-per-view and look at the storylines going forward for the next month. Don't really think there's going to be that many starting stopping. Yeah, maybe just one, but other than that, maybe just one storyline ending and then other ones continuing. So yeah, but other than that, I say it's been pretty much business as usual. Thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed this episode, do leave a like and subscribe. for not just NPW but all our other good Bash Bros content. If you have any ideas for storylines, tag teams, stables, feuds, you name it, I will try and book it for you. And with all that being said, I will see you next time on Bash Bros.